we will be asked to determine the equation of a function from its graph. This first example is a quadratic function whose vertex is at 0, 2. It opens down. There are a couple of other points that are noted on the curve, which are located 1 over and 1 down from the vertex. So we start with the equation of the parent function. And because it opens down, we need a negative sign in front of the quadratic term. And then it's shifted 2 up, so we need plus 2 after the quadratic term. Now we'll look at the absolute value function whose vertex is at negative 2, 0. Two other points that lie on this curve are located 1 over and 1 down from the vertex. The equation form is f of x equals the absolute value of x. Now because it opens down, we need a negative sign in front of the absolute value bars. It's shifted 2 to the left of the parent function, so I need to include plus 2 after the x inside the absolute value bars. Let's do 2 more examples. Here's a quadratic function whose vertex is at 0, 0. I can see there's a couple of other points on this curve. It hasn't been shifted left, right, up, or down, and it's not reflected across the x-axis. So we start with f of x equals x squared. But what I notice is this particular curve is actually twice as steep as the parent function. So that's why I need the 2 in front of the x squared term. Now from here we're going over to the absolute value function. The vertex is at 0, 0, so we can start with f of x equals the absolute value of x. We notice it is opening down, so I need the negative sign. The next thing I notice is that the 2 points that are obvious are 1 over but 2 down, which means this one is twice as steep as the typical absolute value function, so I need the 2 in front of the absolute value bars. Do 2 more examples. In this quadratic function, I see the vertex is at negative 2, 0. I see it opens down. And I see that its width is the same as the parent function. In other words, 1 over 1 down, 1 over 3 down. So the equation form will start with the f of x equals x squared, which is the equation of the parent function. Now remember, it's opening down, so I need that negative. And because the vertex is shifted 2 to the left, I need to include plus 2 after the x inside the parentheses. Now the absolute value function. The vertex is at 2, 0. It's opening up. So it's f of x equals the absolute value of x. Now when we look at the width of this function, it's what I would expect, 1 over 1 up. So it's the typical width. But the only thing that I have to include in my equation is the fact that the vertex is shifted 2 to the right. So inside my absolute value bars, I must include minus 2.